So you're facing ACL surgery, and I get it, it can feel like this huge, daunting mountain you have to climb. But here's the thing, every summit is reached one step at a time. And the really good news, there's a proven path to get you back to full strength. So let's dive right into this clear, 5-stage roadmap to your recovery.
All right, first up, let's do a quick refresher on the star of our show, the ACL. You can see it right there in the diagram. It sits smack in the middle of your knee, connecting your thigh bone, that's your femur, to your shin bone, the tibia. It's absolutely crucial for stability, and that's exactly why it gets injured so often in sports with a lot of sudden stops or quick changes in direction. You know, think soccer, basketball, that kind of thing.
So what exactly is an ACL reconstruction? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a surgery where they replace that torn ligament with something called a graft. Now, this new tissue usually comes from your own body, often a little piece of your hamstring or your patellar tendon. And that graft, it becomes your brand new ACL.
Okay, so your whole recovery journey is going to follow this really clear, progressive 5-stage plan. Think of it like a roadmap. We're going to start with just recovering from the surgery itself. Then we'll get you walking again. After that, it's all about strengthening. Then comes the fun part, running and agility. And finally, the big one, getting you back to the sport you love. The key thing to remember is that each stage builds right on top of the last one.
All right, let's jump into stage 1. This is all about that first week or so right after your surgery. And believe me, this phase is critical. It's all about laying the perfect foundation for everything that comes next.
So what are we trying to accomplish here? The goals are super specific. First, we got to get that pain and swelling under control. Second, we need to get your knee bending to at least 90 degrees. Third, obviously, make sure that incision is healing up nicely. And finally, and this is the big one, we have to get that knee fully 100% straight.
And I really can't stress this enough. Out of all of those goals we just listed, getting that full knee extension, getting your leg perfectly poker straight, is the absolute hands-down #1 priority right from day one.
But you might be asking, why? Why is that so important? It sounds simple, right? But trust me, the long-term problems if you don't get this right, they're a pretty big deal.
This quote right here really explains it all. If you don't get that knee straight early on, scar tissue can build up inside, and that can lead to permanent stiffness, a lot of extra pain. It can basically mess up your entire recovery. And in the worst cases, it might even mean another surgery to fix it. So yeah, the takeaway is simple. Get that knee straight.
So how do you do it? Well, this right here is going to be your best friend. It's called the heel over roll stretch. It's super simple. You just prop your heel up on a rolled up towel or a foam roller, and then you just let gravity do all the work. It'll gently pull your knee down into that straight position. You're going to want to do this for a few minutes at a time, but do it a bunch of times throughout the day. Okay, let's talk about something that's suddenly going to feel really tricky, stairs. But don't worry, there's a super simple rule to remember. It's a little saying, up with the good, down with the bad. So when you're going up the stairs, you lead with your good, unoperated leg. When you're coming down, you lead with your bad or operated leg. Simple as that. Just make sure you're using the railing and your crutches for support.
All right, so once you've checked off those first few boxes, you are ready for stage 2. This is a really exciting stage because this is where we start to focus on getting you moving and really feeling more like yourself again. So what are the big goals now? Well, #1 is to walk without a limp. We also want to increase your knee bend to about 120 degrees and start working on your balance on that one leg. And this is the stage where you get to say goodbye to those crutches. How great is that?
But here's the deal. The only way you can ditch the crutches is if you can walk without compensating, without that limp. It means you actually have to relearn how to walk normally. You know, that heel-to-toe pattern? Your heel hits the ground first. You roll through the middle of your foot, and then you push off smoothly with your toes. Absolutely no limping allowed.
And this is also when you'll start your first real strengthening exercises. Now don't worry, we're talking about super gentle, really controlled movements. Things like these supported quarter squats you see here. The whole point is just to start safely waking up those big quad muscles. Okay, on to stage 3. This is where the hard work really kicks into gear. We're talking about building some serious strength now. You're probably going to be spending a lot more time in the gym during this phase.
You'll notice the goals have shifted a bit by now. We're aiming for 0 swelling, none at all. We want full, completely pain-free range of motion, and we want you to be able to do all your normal daily stuff with no problem. Really, this whole stage is about building up that strength and endurance you're going to need for the more athletic stuff down the road. And this is where you can really see your progress.
I mean, think about it. Remember back in stage 1 when you were just doing a simple calf raise while sitting in a chair? Well, by stage 3, you're doing them standing on one leg with no support at all. It's just an awesome visual of how far you've already come.
Building up your cardio is also super important here, but, and this is a big but, it has to be low impact. We have to protect that new graft. The good news is you've got tons of great options. We're talking the stationary bike, the elliptical, swimming, rowing, even running in the water. All of these are going to get your heart rate up without pounding on that knee.
Another huge step in this stage is adding external resistance. So now you'll start using things like resistance bands and gym machines. Why? Because it's time to really challenge those muscles and rebuild the kind of strength you need for that final push back to your sport.
Okay, so once you've built that solid foundation of strength, you can finally see the finish line. The last 2 stages are all about taking all that strength you built in the gym and translating it into real-world, sport-specific movements.
Stage 4 is a massive milestone because you get to run again. This whole phase is about bringing impact back into the picture, but doing it safely. It's not like you just go out for a 5K. No, it starts with a really simple jogging program, maybe on a treadmill. Then you gradually move to running outside. From there, you'll start doing some basic cutting and agility drills. This is where you really start to feel like an athlete again, but it's always done in a controlled step-by-step way to make sure your body is ready.
And that brings us to the final step, stage 5, the return to sport. This is it. This is the moment you've been grinding for months and months. But listen, it's not about just jumping right back into a full game on day 1. That's a recipe for disaster. It's a super carefully planned, gradual return to the specific movements of your sport, the cuts, the jumps, the pivots. You'll start with drills without any contact, and only then do you slowly build up to full-speed competition. We have to make sure your knee, your muscles, and just as importantly, your mind are all 100% ready to go.
So, as we wrap this up, what are the big takeaways? What are the key things you need to remember through this entire journey, right from day 1 all the way to the finish line?
Look, if there's one thing you take away from all this, it's this. You have to listen to your body. It's that simple. Pain is your body telling you to back off a little. Swelling is a sign that you might have overdone it. You know, this whole thing is a team effort. It's a partnership between you, your surgeon, and your physical therapist. You absolutely have to trust their guidance, but you also have to learn to trust the signals your own body is sending you.
So there you have it. The roadmap is laid out for you. The stages are clear, and the goals are totally achievable. Yeah, it's a long journey. There's no doubt about it. But it's also a journey where you get to rebuild yourself, maybe even stronger than you were before. The path is clear. The only question left is, are you ready to take that first step?